so get your head out your ass. I'm the antonym of the internet, still cleaning up the viruses that you had left. I think I'm falling in love again. Don't stop until you hear the I'm the antonym of the internet, been fighting on new grounds over if my love is valid. Fuck this cynicism, let the colors fly. Don't care, you think it's cringe because it's not your life. She said, do you like waffles? I said, hell yeah. Been watching Equals 3 until 2 a.m. I ain't got no iPhone, but I got a DS with a keychain, a pinky. Her cupcakes are the best. I've been failing my classes cause I don't give a damn. They say the world is my oyster, but the free market's a scam. Everything's been changing since last generation was born, and they won't try to take and change. Use a two-edged sword. I'm the antonym of the internet, still cleaning up the viruses that you had left. I think I'm falling in love again. Don't stop until you I'm the antonym of the internet, been fighting on new grounds over if my love is valid. Fuck this cynicism, let the colors fly. Don't care, you think it's cringe because it's not your life. It's never too late to fall in love with the world. Your past is not today, so say you're straight with a twirl. Yeah, we've all made mistakes before, that's a fact of life. But once you restate your heart, you'll be just fine. Now it's your life, you say it's all mine, all mine. Revel in your friends and hobbies, let your heart speak. Wanna drift to say some shit, just block that internet freak. I'm the antonym of the internet, still cleaning up the viruses that you had left. I think I'm falling in love again. Don't stop until you I'm the antonym of the internet, been fighting on new grounds over if my love is valid. Fuck the cynicism, let the colors fly. Don't care, you think it's cringe because it's not your life.
Hello everyone. So I am currently working on getting a VRM thing ready, so if anyone joins, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be a little behind. Just need to export this again, because I thought I exported correctly from the VRM1 thing, but I did not, and that means I have to redo it. Ah, damn. Oh, come on. VRM1 keeps I both love and hate VRM1, because on one hand it makes it really easy to just add an object to stuff. Hello, code and assembly. We need to wait a moment. I am currently trying to re-export my... Alright, so here, I want to show you. Can I show you this? Yeah, so you'll see I have a hat in this one. I forgot to attach it to the head bone. So I have to open up VRM1 again and do that again real quick. Actually, let me see if I can swap to that real quick while it's loading. Let me see if I can swap to it while it's loading. You know, sneak peek behind the scenes, right? Into the nonsense that I go through. I made a hat. I made another hat. Because I've been making hats again, trying to get back into the vibe of 3D modeling regularly. Because if I keep opening Blender, eventually the dragon will get done. Oh, joy, it's not responding. Fun. VRM1 is a pretty cool thing, though. It's a VRM1 editor. It is a Windows program, unfortunately. I'm not sure I'm going to have an equivalent on Linux. But it made it really easy to add basic, basic additions to my VRM model. And God, I'm gonna go ahead and mute the desktop audio for now because I have the game already open and it's playing in the background. But yeah, so I'm currently waiting on this to respond. It's a bit frozen at the moment, but don't worry, it'll pass in a second. How have you been though? How have you been today? Hello! Oh my god, it's Nerdo. I've almost been subject to the same bullshit glitch as last time. I think we were waiting for a proper stream to happen. No, YouTube just forgot to transition. Thanks, YouTube, you incompetent twats. Oh, man. Actually, I've been actually really excited this last week. I think I'm up to, like, what is it, 329 subscribers? Oh, cool. So it finally popped open. Oh, you guys not seeing this? Damn. Come on, give me VRM1. Windows 10 Okay, so this is the model in case you guys aren't wondering. I'm showing you behind the scenes now because I had to briefly re-add everything. Also, I finally figured out what I was doing wrong with adding texture to objects. That's right, baby. Not only do I have a hat, but it's a hat with texture. I need to quickly redo this. You're getting a little behind the scenes look though today. As to how all of this works. And, oh, right, before I do any of that, we need to do the thing I actually forgot to do. Attach it to the head bone. I really do want to play around more VRM1 stuff because, on one hand, right, I do want to make my, like, new model and get that all up and running and get that working so I can, like, have that. I'm going to try and have my horns kind of sticking out the back. It looks kind of cool that way. Yeah, I like that. That looks, it's a little too forward. A little too forward of me. There we go. There, nice look, everything. We're good. Cool. Save VRM. Soap Dragon Bamboo Hat. Bammo! Been good. Oh, it's good to hear. Good to hear. Yes, I am here indeed in my windstorm of Vampire Pet Dragon with Temper of T-Rex. Also, I saved that wrong again, I think. No, I saved it. Maybe I saved it correctly this year. No, because I forgot to save it as VRM, I think. I think I saved it as a V project. Alright. Now we should be good. Now, let's hop over here. Go to avatar selection. Before we close out of it, I made the mistake last time of not, finally got my last shipment of Lego. Oh! That's good to hear! Glad to hear it, Fred. What'd you get in that? And we have hat! Behold hat, everyone. Behold hat. And thus we have hat. We officially have hat. Sorry that took a bit. We will now switch back to our regularly scheduled program of Steam game and fun nonsense. So, just some tires and orange windows. That's cool. You know, I in a little bit of my free time, in addition to having a Bionicle movie playing for a bit, I took some time during the day today to have it on in the background while I was working, kind of glancing at it every once in a while. There are some parts I was actually very surprised about looking back. I'm going to go ahead and change some of the light settings too. Give me a bit of that kind of orangish tint I've been using a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and... It's a very low poly texture, right? Like, you can see the creases on it. But I think it actually kind of gives it a bit of character, because it makes it look like there's, like, little sticks underneath, right? Keeping it, like, in the shape. I think it came out pretty well. I literally just kind of took, like, a basket-style texture, wrapped around a cone, and I filled it in, you know? Works pretty well, I think. I like it. It fits the game. I should have given it some extra tassels, but I'm still trying to figure out how to use... the bone structure for, God, what are they called? The flexible bones that I can use. I found out recently VRM1 does actually support that. For the longest time I thought it didn't. Dang, Assembly, you're going crazy with... Also, oh, buttons are still on screen. Thank you for that. Yeah, I forget to do that a lot. Oh god, it's the living ball thing again. I say again because I've done this, I've seen this bullshit in Elden Ring multiple times. Okay. Nice. Dang it, Assembly, you're going crazy with those Legos. Awesome, good for you. Yeah. No. But I've been looking on the Bionicle wiki a bit. Mostly for, like, just fun, but possibly topics after I finish my current range of projects and videos. But one thing I did note is just how many... One thing is I, like, personally really have always liked and respected about Bionicle, and the way that LEGO operated with it, was that there were a bunch of, like, characters, right? When you're going through the game, when you're going through the wiki, you're looking for, like, obscure characters, right? A lot of times on other wikis, if they're not in a game, right? If they're not in a game or in a book or anything, you'll only see them as, like, a blank image or, like, a silhouette of, oh, we don't really know what this person looks like. Sorry. But with Bionicle, they have a lot of homemade sets on the wiki as, like, examples of what characters look like. Oh, my. He gonna bloom. Hit them all, buddy. Oh, shit. Alright. I like that my counterattacks do these, like, live waves like this, because it lets me actually, you know, lets me do some, like, sweeping counterattacks. I will say this game very much is saying, do not get into a large group. They will shred you to pieces, much like a Dark Souls game. You don't want to be surrounded by a large group. They will just rip you to shreds. But hey, we all have our things. Chase after the malefact. Sakura Javelin, please. Boom. And we are good to go. Nice. But yeah, so I was looking around the wiki, right? And I noticed that, like, Makuta Miserix, which is not true at all. It's a mantra at this point, but the solution is to wait for it. But, like, a lot of the characters, like the side characters, right? Or the characters from, like, the books, who didn't even have a set of their own, or weren't part of, like, the combination sets, have like, official build instructions. Bionicle even put them out on their site for a bit back in the day. Like, they would have things where they release, like, unofficial instructions on how to build them if you had the right pieces. Oh my gods. And they would put them in other books. So they would have books like the Bionicle... Oh god, I'm getting wrecked here. They have books like the Bionicle Atlas, or the Bionicle Encyclopedias, or the Rahi Beast Guide, and they would have these, like, really cool fan projects. But it's not just those. They had other stuff. Like, there was a whole series of very, like, short web content, essentially. Basically, it was near the end of Bionicle, during, like, the Makuta takeover arc, right, where he took over Matanui's body. And there was a whole thing where they had, like, a bunch of books following the Cardanui stuff and the Matoran resistance inside Matanui's body, whereas, like, the official material is, like, that really bad fourth movie. Good God, the fourth movie is so much worse than everything else. It's not even funny. I was surprised by how good the movies actually were. I was afraid they weren't going to hold up, but they actually did. Oh my, I didn't even get a single critical. Oh, frick. Nope. Nope. Okay, we need to go. Live stream chat. Not true at all, it's Amanda's point. Wait for a little live stream chat? I don't know. Oh my. Okay, what do we do? Higana Bloom, maybe? That's a big AoE, but I didn't group them all up for it, which sucks. Alright, can I hit him? Alright, the lightning's helping. Hitting him at headshots do help. We need to kind of wear them out. Okay, well that helped. I think I just exploited enemy AI here. Live stream chat. Oh, live stream chat like the Discord chat. One second. I know that pulled up. I still have the Dragons and Art thing pulled up. Get good, yep, yep, yep. Get good, yep, yep, yep. You know, I had forgotten that yep, 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 yep was from that, because it was something I like had as like a verbal tick for a bit. I forgot that that was from The Land Before Time. Yeah, have you ever had something like that? Where you're like, I have something that's like embedded into my speech patterns and I'm not sure where it comes from. And then one day you find out where it comes from and you're like, really? That's where I got that? You ever had anything like that? Alright, let me try, like... Higana Bloom, Ranger Destruction Massive, go for it. The Discord one, something similar. Oof. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. I should use this power to give me a critical attack to go down, take out the big one, and then go for the smaller ones. Well, damn it! Oh, I was so close. Nah, I know why I started using Howdy. Yep. Okay, I'm an idiot. See, I'm not using the full kit. That's why I'm getting wrecked. I forgot I have this plant growth ability. Frickin' use it. Alright, well. Okay. So, we're gonna do, if we're gonna grow it out as far as we can, grapple. Oh, come on, I nearly did it. Alright, he got a bloom in the middle of them all. Then we're immediately going to follow this up actually with some more attack. Oh, it can't. Shoot. Oh, also, I have a freaking ground slam now. Freaking use it. Alright. They're all grouped up like this. Really want to give them the Horizon treatment, didn't you? I really did. I really wanted to give them, like, the Horizon pick them off at their weak points part. You know, I will say that's probably the part of Horizon's gameplay I loved the most, was, like, slowly whittling. Because, like, you weren't just, like, fighting the dinos, you were ripping parts off them, right? Alright, here we go. Damn it! Oh. I will give them this. This game is really good at ripping me apart with a small group of enemies. And I'm not sure if that's just because I'm bad at it, or if it actually is pretty challenging. We'll have to see. But I think these are actually pretty challenging enemies. Alright. Alright, we're gonna... Blew it all the way out. Kill the Samurai Warrior one first. Try those air combos, perhaps. I'm trying the air combos, but I have to get them in the air first. Got a bloom. Pop them in the air. Okay, there we go. Haha! Got it. Slam! Okay, when my boy throws them, I gotta get them immediately. Fang, baby! Okay! Don't you have any of the launcher moves unlocked? Do I? Okay, that was sick. Yeah, I know, right? I really like the Thunder Wave sword. I like how it does like a burst of lightning damage after I hit certain thresholds. But no, back to what I'm saying. There's a lot of, like, obscure Bionicle characters. Like, some of, like, the weird Makuta, like the previous leader of the Makuta stuff, who have, not, like, sets, right? But who have build instructions, essentially, because other people went around and built stuff for them. And I think that's really cool. I also like that there are some people who are apparently 3D printing some Bionicle parts. Like, there are some people who want to print all the different Rockshi types. Which, like, for reference, not all, like, there are 44 potential Rockshi in canon, because the Rakshi can be of any of the Makuta's 44 non-shadow abilities. Yeah, the Makuta just have 44 elemental powers. I don't know why it's 44, they just do. It's just a thing. Oh, did you see that aerial jump kill? Oh, that was beautiful. Okay. Alright, we got the Hunter Sword with the poison thing. Ooh, I got the Garb of Tranquility. Oh, it also prevents me from being noticed. Okay, that's why the enemies are attacking me more than they were at first. The armor actually increases enemy awareness. Ah, I see. I was like, why can't I sneak up on them as easily? I felt like I could sneak up on them easier last time. It's because it doesn't, the armor I just got does not actually affect my enemy awareness. Got it. But no, I will say that's a thing. One of the reasons Horizon is a bit higher rated for me than this game so far. I just really enjoy how Horizon makes because the whole gimmick, right, of Horizon is you're not just fighting monsters, you're hunting them. You're hunting the giant robots. And Horizon really does make it feel like it. You're encouraged to always get, like, a first stealth attack first, right? To never, like, make it, to always, like, disappear and to go hide. Oh, God, where is it going again? Seriously, it's constantly running away. We got something over here. And they encourage you to also, like, set up traps. Like, there's a whole set of weapons that are literally just about laying down snares and mines and stuff. And unlike most other games where they let you have weapons like that, I find, Horizon is, like, one of the only games where I actually was incentivized to use those weapons. Which is insane, because you have a limited amount of weapons you have equipped at any one time. So not only were they weapons that you actually used, they were weapons you would willingly equip over, like, a basic damage weapon, which for a game is, like, a huge, I think that is genuinely a huge success of Horizon. Like, any game can make you put down the fucking Gatling gun and actually use a tripwire gun, should be praised for that. I played the game myself, and I'm really starting to I know what's going on stream, but I'm distracted because I managed to work modded Ultra Marvel vs. Capcom 3 run, and I got distracted. That's cool. No, how are you liking it so far? I've been enjoying this one. I genuinely find this game pretty cool. I like its aesthetic. It's not the most unique game in the world, right? A lot of its mechanics are pretty similar, but I think it does a lot of shit right. It doesn't do a whole lot unique, aside from, like, some of the plant monsters, I guess, and the whole gimmick of her hair. You know what's... oh, yes, this reminds me. I had this thought, actually, a while back. I had this thought. I was like, you know, this game reminds me of something. I just cannot think of what it is. And it came to me. This is Death Stranding, but with, like, plants with, like, a weird cyber plant instead of the baby. Like, the aesthetic reminds me of Death Stranding so much. Okay, the Exquisite Grace imbues me. Blade Art Range. I really like Asiago. We're going to increase that. Oh, oh my god, I have a lot of skill points. Let's go ahead and use some of this. Jeez. How do I have 100? How have I not been using my skill points? Dear god. Did I gain a lot of them? It's overloaded mechanics, and mode combat traversal is cool, if not a little weird. Yeah, I feel like the plants can be a little bit inconsistent sometimes when it comes to, like, the grappling can sometimes feel like you don't always have a clear access to a point, even though it feels like you should. But I do just love how free-flowing it is. It's very light on invisible walls, which is something I will always see as a bonus, right? I will always look at any game that says, hey, we're not going to put up a bunch of bullshit invisible walls to restrict you for no reason. I will always see that as a benefit. Any game that does that immediately has my respect, because it means they trust the player to actually know how the ability works and to be able to find their way back to the objective. Now, saying that, I got lost, right? I managed to get lost in that one map for a bit. But I still heavily respect the game for actually being willing to let me get lost and let me find my own way. I'm going to go ahead and increase the speed and blade art range of all these blade arts real quick. You know, really use my experience for some stuff. And I think I have another one for here. And I can go ahead and unlock both of these tiers that I've unlocked. Unlock these abilities. Basic recovery boost, I'm gonna be fine. Yeah, anything that gives me recovery, I'm gonna boost that up real quick. Shift to perfect stance. Stand perfectly still after an attack and shift to perfect stance. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that one. Okay. By next week, I shall be able to flex some on your combat knowledge. Probably. We'll see. All right, let's go. I do like it though, because honestly, one of the other things this does do that reminds me a bit of Horizon, right? This isn't, the more I explore this world, the more clear it becomes, this isn't just a destroyed world. Plenty of games have post-apocalyptic destroyed worlds, right? No, this isn't just a destroyed world. It's a world where people have actively rebuilt after the destruction. Which is a lot rarer, in my opinion. Oof. Okay, we gotta do... I do always get confused when I see an X, though. Even though inside, right, I know deep down, right, that is, like, square for my PlayStation controller. A part of me sees X and I hit X, like, as like a reflex. A bit. But no, you can, like, tell from the world. I mean, Fallout New Vegas was a bit like that, with people trying to remake as much as... Right, but that's like a Fallout game. That's like that game's whole gimmick. I'm saying that like and I'm not saying no games do it, right? Horizon has that too. They have plenty of civilizations that are built. It's just that some of the civilizations look at like the old ones, right? With this kind of mystical reverence of like cursed ruins almost. Oof. That's an unblockable. We can dodge laser beams. All right. Holy shit! We can deflect lasers! We can't just block lasers, we can freaking deflect them. It's a bit of a pain to do, we can do it. Alright, he got a bloom. Alright, and then... Boom! Got it! I think it says more about the kind of games you play than the kind of games that are out there. That's fair. I think that's fair. And don't get me wrong, I know there are tons of games that, like, have that kind of thing, right? Fallout is a pretty solid example. I'm trying to think of, like, other post-apocalyptic games I played that, like, would have this kind of aesthetic. I guess Dark Souls kind of has it in a weird way. Like, all the Dark Souls games are kind of set in the same world, and you even find the Lord Vessel in, at the end of, oh god, what is it? At the end of, like, not even at the end, at the beginning of Dark Souls 2, if you go down to, like, the, like, Firelink area, you can find in this, like, abandoned house in the basement the broken shards of the Lord Vessel. Like, this, you know, this very important relic of a bygone era, right? That just, like, is just lying there in the dust, ruined. Because it means nothing now to this new era, so far from Gwyn's Age of Fire. In the end, it's always an oh shit move when arc fields. Infield, just your supply line relies on the byproduct of someone else being created. Because the rest of the supply, without the byproduct, the rest of the supply line shuts down. I'm sorry, I'm very confused. It's always an oh shit movement when in arc infields, your supply line relies on the byproduct of something else being created, and then without that byproduct, the rest of the supply line shuts down. But no, I like when the apocalypse happens and people aren't just hiding in the bunkers, right? They're trying to build new infrastructure afterwards. And this is, I will say, even in the worlds where, like, people are building stuff, this kind of takes some of the cake. Like, Fallout is a good example, right? Like, they have some settlements. Sure, they do. But it feels like nothing that comes close to, like, these, like, look at these things. These are, like, giant pylons, I guess? Were they trying to build power infrastructure or something? Or were this just kind of like stakes in the ground? Was this before or after? I can't quite tell. You know, I like shit like that. And you are right, it is probably the games I play too. I play a lot of Souls-like games, right? Because so a lot of the games I play are like very post-apocalyptic from the get-go. Oh, frick. God damn it. Can I climb up this ladder? When the game says no, you're not allowed to climb up the ladder. Go parkour, you idiot. Oh. Well, the game has spoken, and parkour we shall. It is funny. This feels like anime ending music, right? Like those like the soft J-rock or J-pop tracks that play at the ending of an anime. Anyhow. There probably is a better way to do this, but screw that. I'm doing it my way. It's my way or the highway, baby. Oh, yes, yes, yes. GTA San Andreas Syndrome at play. I do not know that one. What is GTA San Andreas Syndrome? Spray paint of a robot. Cool. For example, creating cuprium from cuprium creates sludge as a byproduct. That sludge can then be used to extract zirconium effluent, which is used to create zircon, which is used to make batteries. Ladders don't work. Honestly, that might be the biggest flex over Ubisoft I've ever seen. No, you don't climb a ladder to get up to the top of the tower. You just go climb it with your plant powers. I would say the towers are pre-apocalypse. Probably. Although some of the older robots are also pretty rusted. And we know they're not above utilizing some technology, even if they don't understand how it works, like tech pre-style. Also like Cyberboot over there with the fucking mushroom face. That also could be like a digital pattern. Hey, asshole! You gonna give me a perfect victory? Because I would like that. Okay, Higamon and Bloom? Also, are we supposed to be hearing the game? Oh, you should be. Oh, shit. I forgot. You are supposed to be. I forgot to turn the volume back on from earlier. Unfortunately, there hasn't been much to hear. Aside from the anime-only ninja music, which now that doesn't make much sense, does it? No perfect victory for me, I'm correct. That is too loud. Okay. Shit. I messed with the slider. Let's see, now maybe? Thank goodness this isn't like a full Dark Souls game, and I could actually pause it. Okay, is that better? I think that should be better, right? Alright, Higamana Roots. Oh. Nope, lost that one. Higamana Seeds. Oh. Okay, come on. Okay. I really want to do that slashing attack. Alright, he's about to do a seed spitter, I think. Or, yep. About to do something. Ooh, yeah, that little pause attack is like crazy good. Oh. Oh no. Last heal. He come out of Bloom. Hit him again. And... Right. Getting off the attacks. Oh my. Okay. Careful, careful, careful. Don't want to screw it up too close to the end. Oh yeah, we got this. We got it, we got it, got it. So we can play about move modifiers quite wildly as well. Something like in Remember Me. I never played Remember Me. Creeping Kiku. Oh, we can do like kind of a ranged AoE attack. Okay. Kiku Bloom Strike. I guess we absorbed whatever powers this thing had also absorbed from other Nishu. Because the guy who sent this thing after me, right, is hunting Nishu too. So I'm a... Oh wow, it's a giant dam. Wait, is this... Okay, wait. I want to get a closer look at this real quick. No, I don't recognize this. For a second there, I thought this was Susanoo fighting the Orochi no Amada, right? Like the 8-headed serpent. But that's clearly not Orochi. I don't think. No, it has like a sword. That's clearly not Orochi. He's a matching Nushi's power. That's clearly not... What is that figure? We've got like a little, like... We got a godlike figure over here. Is that like a Hindu god, maybe? Perhaps? I mean, we do have a bit of like Buddhist or Hindu hint over here. Talking about Forgotten Capcom. Game. YouTube chat is so limiting. I'll post the story in your Discord. Yeah, definitely post it in Discord. Dawn Seeker. So with no Zircon really means no Zircon. Ah, so basically if people stop producing the one thing, then you stop being able to produce all the other shit. Yes, okay. That makes sense. So is it like entirely reliant on a player economy for Arcanite Zenfield? There's no way to like buy some of the stuff or get a hold of it without other players doing the producing? Why do you ask? So defeat the Malefact of... Wait, the Malefact of Fate? Also, again, the Warring Gods feels like it's a hint. It's automation. Okay. I want to get a closer look at this. No, it's definitely not Orochi, I don't think. I don't think this is Orochi. This looks like a different god. Or maybe it's like something to do with this like robot world, because those looks like 4 eyes on one of them. They kind of look like the robot eyes maybe a bit. I can't tell, and I'm not super like well read up on Eastern mythologies as much as I am a lot of Western ones, unfortunately. I feel like although I know a decent amount of like Japanese lore fun facts, I don't know a lot about like Japanese mythologies overall. I guess you could call it like world, right? I don't know all the details. I know a few stories about Susanoo or Amaterasu or whatever, but I don't know a huge amount of like overall info. I really do like this Vine ability. Talking WOD with a client at work, and they like conspiracies quite a bit. They like space being fake and the Hollow Earth fun time. Yeah, honestly, as when it comes to like fun conspiracies to play around with in a fictional world, Hollow Earth theory is definitely one of the more fun ones. I was really excited a bit when the Godzillaverse started playing with that. Mostly because it was just dumb fun, and it felt like exactly what that series needed. Alright. You can only gather cuprium ore from the world, but you can only create sludge and zircon fluid and zircon by processing the byproduct. So, in order to make anything, you need the other stuff before it. It's like a Minecraft tech tree, essentially.
Oi.
Oh, hello.
Irasai.
Welcome. Yeah, sure, I'll purchase some shit. What do you have on you? A vampiric blade. Ooh, that's interesting. Do I have enough to buy that? Sure, I'll buy that. I'll buy both of these. I'd like to buy sword. Oh, I don't have enough amber. Damn. Sure, I'll buy this one. Might as well see it. I'll buy an antidote cup book. I will buy a book on a recovery tonic. Feels like advanced oil refining Factorio. Yeah, it does actually. That's actually a really good comparison. Factorio is a crazy game, honestly. There's like all this shit you could do in Factorio where you just like slowly Amber skill. Amber containing a skill Q can learn and unlock such destructive attack. Okay, what else do I have? Golden Edge. A merchant may take this off your hand. Yeah, let's sell these. Sell these to merchants. What else? What else? Oh, I have some charms I should probably be wearing. Huh? I haven't really been wearing any of the charms. I am seeing a bit of what you're saying though, right? About like all the different things you can have in the game. All these different systems. Like it feels like a bit much when I'm getting by perfectly fine, just wrecking shit. Enemy awareness low. Wraps around the torch notified support. It is a little bit of a shame that our outfit doesn't change with all these different costumes we get. I do like it when the outfit changes, but oh well. Must optimize production lines. Yeah, that is Factorio in a that is really Factorio in a nutshell. Gods. Oh man. Yeah. I'm trying to even think, but like, yeah. I'll begin researching that, sure. We can add some more effects. That's good. That's good. Fortification 2 added on. Fortification is just a nice solid boost to our health. Always good to see it. What else? Entangled. Ooh. Yes, I like the idea of restoring my entanglement ability as soon as I do a perfect dodge. That's solid, because most enemies have few unblockable attacks. Yep. Game design should be tight. It's not, especially if it's not a sandbox to build a massives. Yeah, there's like a lot of things I don't feel the need to use them. Like there's a whole crafting system, and I feel bad judging crafting systems because our light oil supply storage is backed up. We can't make for heavy oil until we start using the light oil still in storage. Yeah. Or you have to redo your whole distribution line to like prioritize heavy oil, which is a whole mess and would like screw up all of your, your entire production line. Oh man. And the worst part of Factorio, right, is when you have this really cool factory, but it's running slowly more and more inefficiently, and then all of a sudden you get like multiple hours into the game, and you're like, I really need to redo all of this, but I really don't want to. I really don't want to start over, but I really do need to break some of this down and start like several of these systems right? Like the fuel lines, I just need to organize these and automate these properly. But I'd have to take the whole facility offline and rely on like backup power for a while, or I'd have to like build a backup power unit just to like start up on this. And then one of the bugs attack, and I've been polluting to God. It gets to like the point of like, oh shit, what do I even do? It's the thing that's made me give up on Minecraft projects in the past, and I've been careful not to do as much of it in my current Minecraft playthrough, which I'm still doing on very different occasions. Never have to be, I must be built different. Yeah. I've had issues with that in Minecraft too, where I get such a big build and I realize I've screwed up something like very specific and I need to redo it, and it just completely demoralizes me. Oh shit! We got a double team over here. Oh, I didn't. Oh no, I didn't heal at all. I'm screwed. I don't think I'm beating this, but I'm probably screwed. Oh, it's supposed to lose fight? This is a supposed to lose fight? Also, he can do plant kung fu. Cool. Never had to me, I must be built differently. Well, aren't you awesome? Don't you you dare hurt Doggo! Cool! No! They hurt Doggo. They hurt Doggo. They must pay. Then again, I've been playing management games since I was in diapers. Yeah, I played management games on occasion, but they've never been my bread and butter. They're always a system. Oh no, we're doing the anime thing where we get like a massive blood loss, aren't we? Damn. Oh wait, no massive blood loss? How do you take us down then? Where do we get cut? Did they not like just make a version of the model where we had like a cut across our chest? Oh, wait. Did he cut us through our jack? Wait, I was so confused. Is it really that small of a wound? I mean, again, he probably hit like a big artery or something like that, but like, it's a lot more realistic of a wound than I was expecting from this kind of game. This game's been very over the top in a lot of ways. I was expecting to do like the full-on anime slash where like blood spews out, but no, it's like this like shallow cut. But it's like, yeah, I mean, if I got cut that way, I'd be bleeding out. You were chosen as the vessel. Okay, sure. That's all ancient history. What are you talking about? Shido. Okay. Have you learned the truth, Emma? Okay, yeah, the world shuns your kind. Yeah, we get that. Of course you don't. Shido. Oh, okay. That was cool, actually. That was really cool. Even if we stand here, the blight is eating away at your body. Sometimes this game can't decide what to be or crazy over top action or down-to-earth RPG with similar believable action. It really does. It really does struggle with that because, like, on the. Do you have even an inkling? I haven't paying attention to the story, by the way. But like in like the human fights or the fights against the robots, right? Like a few well-placed guys with swords can rip you apart. You'll find out in due time. Just tell me the answer, obvious villain. Jeez. But on the other hand, we can parry the paws of gigantic monster beasts like we're a samurai super ninja. Skill issue. And then we go into cutscenes, and it's like occasionally we're doing giant plant leaping, where we're extending our hair to grab our sword and do a cool move, or like we're doing like cool plant kung fu. And then the next scene, like we do like one of the typical anime slash scenes, and it's like a believable wound, right? Like that was probably the most believable two swordsmen clash, and then suddenly the freeze frames, and then you just see one collapse, and it's just like the small wound on her side. That was the most believable version of that I've ever seen in anything out of Japan. Because usually it's like a huge blood spray. The only time it's not a huge blood spray is if it's like a kid's anime, and even then, their like shirt usually like rips, and there's like a huge like, you know, like impact effect. Because like the blade, I guess, was blunted, or they're using a staff or something, and it's just like this huge impact crater on their chest, where they're like bruised or something like that. Duckney backs me up on it again. Yeah, good boy, Fu. Good boy. Such a good boy. He's such a good boy. Also, I've already figured out that we're some sort of genetic experimentation thing. Because this whole world is the result of some sort of biological project gone horribly, horribly wrong, right? I'm just trying to figure out what the deal is. He called me the vessel. No, he's supposed to say the vessel, not a vessel, which is it is a distinction, and I'm not sure if this is like a translation issue, but the fact that he didn't say the vessel and instead said a vessel makes me think that it's not a translation issue. This is like something to do with the plot. We will see. We will see. We must see later. We must see later and figure out what is going on here. Alright. Okay. Now, let us see. Let us see. What do we have here? talk with my little cook. My weird indentured servant, I guess. I mean, she's not exactly free to leave because, you know, monsters. I'm gonna reset the avatar again. Well, not again, but like for the first time today, because my wings are screwing up again. Really need to work on that other one. But no, I am excited to see where this is going. I feel like I'm gonna get a Horizon kind of twist, right? They screwed up the world through some kind of biological project, and we are like an Aloy-style precursor setup systems to keep this all in check and prevent humanity from going extinct kind of thing. I feel like that's where this is going. I feel like we can kind of pretty clearly guess at that. I'm just trying to figure out what the deal with it all is. Okay, thanks for the report. I think I have enough to write about now. Good to hear. Good to hear, Kagura. Just ask if you ever need a refresher about anything that's happened. I'm still unclear on a few things. So, I'm assuming the choker is some sort of limiter that's preventing the infection, the blight, from taking us, right? It's slowing it down or something. Yeah, I don't count on Drakengard Gungrave kind of twist. I will say, I'm not that attached to Kagura. I'm sorry. As a character, I have nothing. I feel more for the dog than I do for Kagura. Kagura is kind of just like this innocent girl we saved, who's tagging along, and she's like, I like cooking and tending to the plants and shit, and I can help you guys, I swear. And I'm just like, I don't know. I felt like a similar way about the kid in Monster Hunter, where I was just like, I was just not invested in the kid's like overall plot in the Monster Hunter Rise game. I get that she's supposed to be helping us, open up and learn to feel our emotions again, because they're not like eliminated like some people want to say about carriers. They are just suppressed. Characters in games in this game kind of are blunt. Yeah, they don't evoke a lot of emotion. The characters seem very archetypal. We've got the guy who, I know the truth about the world. You just don't understand. Our kind are being used as vessels to stop the apocalypse at the cost of our lives. So basically, this supply line goes using sludge byproduct. It's been a while. I did kind of like the druid guy. He was kind of nice. I think he was kind of cool. They do not rock, and I don't vibe with that. Weirdly enough, I'm way more interested in the gigantic plant monster that talks with a little girl's voice. Or Ku. Like, I'm way more interested in the plant monster creatures. They have, like, way more interesting things going on. Okay, so don't see your posters thing in chat. It goes to the reactor crucible to create zircon liquid. That process also creates inert zircon fluid, and that inert fluid is put in the purification unit to be recycled into more zircon liquid, which I feed into a bottling plant. Yeah, this is some fucking Victoria shit. The problem is I reached the cap of how much bottled zircon liquid I can store, and the bottling stopped. With the bottling stopped, purified zircon fluid has nowhere to go, so the purification stopping the purification unit, the inert zircon fluid has nowhere to go, so the reactor crucible is shut down, being funneled into the zircon creation unit, and with no zircon being created, the battery production shut down. So what it feels like what you need to do is just like shove some you need to build more storage, but you can't probably build more storage without the battery, which must suck. You need a shower. I will say one thing. I do like the mobile base. It feels very compact. I get a sense of this is like how people have to live in caravans, right? It doesn't feel too luxurious, right? This feels like an RV with like long-term survival in mind, which I think is cool. You see, like they have like a little incubator. So like it feels like this is like designed to raise livestock in very cramped conditions, or the grow chamber, right? The little tiny shower where Ku has to like hop up with us. This is the advanced oil processing all over again. Exactly. It really is. I don't have time. I wish I could get back into to Factorio, but I only have time for one game like that, and that game is Minecraft. I'm sorry to say. Okay, let's see. Projectile enhancements. We can do some lightning arrows. Enhance quiver. Bolts. Expand quiver. I've beat Factorio twice already. I don't need to go back into it. Fair. One of the fun things, although they have apparently added like a bunch of new stuff since we last were there, I've heard. Like one of the really cool things is Factorio's like still getting updates. It's insane. Not really enough points to upgrade there. Okay. Do we have some points to acquire skills? No, we don't really have any skill points left. Alright, I think we're good then for now. Let's talk, old man. No, I mean, they're nowhere near food anymore. The corrupted golems still tend to the fields, apparently. Well, that's good. If I want to get past them, we might be able to harvest it. Oh, coup. Oh, good boy needs a... Good boy deserves some pets. You defended me, coup. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. As someone who has dogs for pets, right? Even if they can be very annoying sometimes, I would not trade them for the world. God damn, this game is so bloated with upgrades and different stuff that I may end up skipping it regardless. Yeah, again, it's just like so many things that don't seem to matter as much. And I'm also not just like, I'm not even sure how much they specifically matter. Everything else is unneeded. Fair, I guess. Sure. What else do we have? We need a variety of... Like, they have a whole mechanic, right, around selecting a variety of foods to eat. Because eating a variety of foods, you get all the first-time bonuses or whatever. Like, this kind of feels a little pointless. Not gonna lie. I guess I'll get a fried egg. Well, animals being annoying usually ends up being funny anyhow. You say that, but my dog, like, whines at the most, like, high-pitched, annoying frequency possible. Also, I just noticed something. When she went to lay down in the bed, there was a strap on it. So there's a way to strap yourself into the bed. Which would make sense, because these people sleep in like a mobile mech unit. You might be moving through difficult terrain, need to sleep through the night. Sort of like what they have on ships, right? They have like, if you've ever seen like a ship that goes like out for like long-term fishing, right? Multiple day fishing in like Arctic Sea and stuff. If you look at like the bunk rooms, you've ever seen the inside of one of those, they will have like beds, but they'll have like straps for you to strap yourself in. The solution I came up with was to divert the inert fluid into water purification units to destroy the fluid put into them. That means the fluid is somewhere else to go besides purification unit that's doing a process. Okay. I mean, did you set up as like an overflow so it's not going to drain it if you're, because you don't want your production to stop and then you to run out of the inert fluid. Violet, Emma will have to stop her awakening. Wait, what? I'm so confused. The vessel end? Wait, we're already at the... This is already the end of the game? I was expecting this to last like another stream or two, but... Okay. I don't... Huh. I mean, it feels like weird. Like, we only killed like 2 Nishu. Normally. And then we immediately got distracted with the weird guy with his pet. On the 3rd one. And then we fought him. And then we're gone? Ramble, I have 90k bottled in storage. Yeah, but you don't want to forget about this later on, and then maybe there's like a differential, right, where you're not creating enough of it, and you start using it all up. Another one of the Buddha statues with like the weird, like not pixelated, but like distorted face. Looks strange. I feel like there's supposed to be something there, but can't for the life of me tell what it is. 10 streams later, I mean, we really surprised if the length of the game would be bloated to. Honestly, well, it's actually been like less than I expected, because I thought this was going to be like a much longer game, like something like Expedition 33 in length, if not like quality. Expedition 33 is like much higher quality than this, 100%. But I was expecting it to be a bit longer. I don't know why. Maybe it will be. Maybe it will. I'm hoping it kind of will, because I think this game would, like, I would enjoy playing this in another stream or two. Even though robots are overgrown with plants here. No, they're not overgrown. People have, like, put flower pockets on there? Just want to restart a purification unit. I've removed the water purification units. Okay. That's good. Is that a bell ringing? It did say the end, though. What the... Okay. Robot cult. Interesting. Do you seek the Nushi? Fanatic Golem. Nushi. Do they worship it as a god? Okay, but I the only one curious how much inspired these plant-based combat was inspired by Biomutant. See, now I just want to play Biomutants. Because, like, if that was inspired by this, I really do. Oh, they're all hostile. Alright, got him. And there we go. Flash. Oh. Yeah, if you want to restart it, you'll just get rid of it. Okay, so we found a group of robots that worship a Nushi. You know what? That's kind of interesting. I wonder how would happen to their programming to make them go rogue like this. I never played Biomutant, but I hear the action game comment this is what being it will be like. Okay. Because yeah, I'd heard about Biomutant, but wait, do they like serve the Nushi? Like it actually is like. Oh shit! Have we been? See, this feels like we're kind of walking right into like the Shadow of the Colossus twist, right? Where these are like these are actually like the protect the good guys, and we're like undoing something that's like really important for the world's natural balance, or unleashing like great evil. Holy shit! That timing delay. Oh my. Man, I gotta say though, these attacks do look beautiful. Alright, cool. You gonna use the Hibana Bloom. Yeah, but Arc Knight's infield is constantly adjusting factory in case you're always running out of some material. Okay. This thing is really about his, like, attack. This thing is really about all those, little tiny attacks. The last me away, the AoEs, the undodgeable. Alright, he loves this. What are those things? The way the tendrils, like, move, very unsettling. In a way that a lot of the other plants haven't been, this one almost feels, like, eldritch, you know? Maybe it really is just the Lovecraftian tentacles. You know what it's like, maybe tentacles are just naturally, off-putting. Doesn't seem too fast, no reason to panic. Constantly adjusting your factory because you're using materials at a faster rate than they're being created. Well, that's most factories. Like Factorio is like that as well. Just when you think, like you can never ever have enough research factories. There's always you always need more of them. Because like the moment you think you don't, you unlock some new research and now you need something else and you need to like get into this whole new thing like trains or piping and you need more research. You need more research, but then like you do your research and then you're like, oh well, I made more of this, but now I need more of this in order to make more research. It really does feel like power and research are like the two things you're constantly never having enough of. I got under it for a few bit. Okay, if you get under it, it just can't hurt you. Get under it and it can't hurt you, it's fine. Alright. Kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, Taurus. Got him. That's right, scratch his belly. Now we got second phase. Here comes phase 2. And I'm out of health charges, so I better not mess this up. Oh, okay, we're gonna pursue him. We gotta pursue him like that other one. Cool, so we're gonna get a chance to heal. Nice. Ooh, we got Pedal Barrage. So after using... Okay. Huh. So I'm guessing this one is like... Oh, okay. That's right, scratch that belly. Every once in a blue room, you want perfectly equilibrium, everything is late, and maybe there's an update with new materials and facilities. See, I feel like Factorio kind of pulls that off without needing an update. Factorio manages to pull that off most of the time by just needing you wanting to progress. Or get the new thing. Don't tell me that's a launcher. It is. It's a launching ability. You can launch yourself in the air, from the air to the ground. It is indeed a launcher ability. Alright. Cool. We're going to give you some more fluorescence. I do wonder if I've actually just, like, stumbled into a pretty good build. I always worry about that. I always worry that sometimes I'll go back to a game and it'll be, like, so much harder without the current build I'm using. I've experienced this a few times. Although I've also found that, like, sometimes I do tend to ignore systems on the first time that can be, like, make things, like, a lot of fun. So question, does Factorio's processes run while you're not actively playing it? No, it does not. I mean, you could leave it technically idle, but you probably shouldn't because the bugs might show up while you're missing. Right? I have left it on in the background, though, on occasion. You're not entirely supposed to do that, but I have done it on occasion, right? I really do love this movement system. If there isn't a grapple point, you make a grapple point. That is great. I love it. Art Nights and Field Factory runs even when you aren't playing the game. That does explain how you're... Oh, there was an elevator all along. I see. I am a fool. But I got to create my own way up, which is still fun. Alright, so what we're going to do here is I want to try out some of my new arrow types. Ooh, nice. So these things roll and explode. That's good to know. Aha. Make sure to pick up seeds. Yes, we are progressing the main class, but don't forget to go look for seeds. Yeah, you don't say caught Dino Blade. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Look, I am fallible as any human being is. I have never claimed to be an infallible perfect being, or even, like, amazing at video games. I'm pretty good at video games, I would say, in most cases. I'm nowhere near infallible. Ow, running through fire. Hurt. Fire hot, hurt. Fire hot. Indeed. Fire very hot. So says the professor. You know, I have not watched any of the new Futurama. To be frank with you guys, I have not. I use solar panels and pollution controller methods right at the start. Don't need to worry about fighters until expansion. So you do eventually need to worry about them. When you start expanding, they will come. A talisman. Decoration for the Cleansewalker. Remember, prevention is always better than the cure. I don't think the talisman's weird symbolism is going to protect us from the super plague. But we can do ourselves, I guess. It's fine. We can hope. Only a fool relies on builds to get through. Said like someone who's never played a really good build. Then again, you can't rely on that, right? Like, there's no telling if the mage build or the warrior build is going to be what's broken. Sometimes you can kind of guess based on the priorities of the dev, right? Like the other dragon extraction game, the dev even said, hey, we kind of focus more on the warrior, right? That's probably going to be the more smooth playthrough. No, they don't come to me. I come to them. They're on my oil. What are you, the U.S.? What are you, the U.S.? Gods. It's always the fucking oil, I swear. You're half-like. I like experimenting, but I don't fear. I mean, I do like experimenting. When I played through Elden Ring, I was regularly changing up my builds with, like, larval tears. And I do especially love, if I have time, right, going back and playing a game multiple ways. Horizon, I used to experiment a lot just because it felt like experimentation. I do prefer, okay, this is a big thing for me. I love it when experimentation immediately shows itself to be rewarding in a game. Because not all games reward you for experimenting. Like Dark Souls 1 kind of punishes you a bit for experimenting. Because you only have a very limited amount of weapon upgrade materials, and if you don't upgrade your weapon, it's harder to tell if it's actually pretty good, or if it might be good in a specific situation. Demon Souls in particular can be a pain to experiment because your build is gonna limit your the amount of different weapon upgrade types that can be useful, and good gods are the higher upgrade materials just like near impossible to get a hold of sometimes. Yes, I did just run into the monastery and start killing people. Okay. Thankfully, I had plenty of batteries in storage this time, but there have been multiple times I woke up, logged in, found my factory. See, this is the kind of thing you don't have to worry about as much in Factorio, as long as you're paying attention. Because, you know, if you're not paying attention, well, this is why solar power is important, kids. Never get rid of your solar power. Always have a bit of solar panels once you can unlock them. Because solar panels will at least let your factory operate some of the times. Demon Souls is kind of cryptic needlessly. No, it's just very restrictive on its upgrade materials. Dark Souls is a similar way. Dark Souls still has a lot of Demon Souls bad habits when it comes to upgrade materials and all the different Titanite types. And the fact that you need certain types to upgrade to other types and it's never stated anywhere where half this bullshit is. And you don't even necessarily know what types you... Is this like a Ventruvian man but for robots? But with like Buddhist-inspired stuff around the center. This is pretty cool art. I like this art. Nice art. You know what? Robots can paint. You also know the power to run your energy generation, therefore you have to manually restart it. Yeah. See, this is why I like solar panels, because if you do it right in Factorio with solar panels, if you have them hooked up, you can just wait till the day. That's the bell. Wow, it's like an entire robot cult. You know what? This is actually kind of cool. We got a whole cult of the robots that have gone like, not feral like the other ones have. They haven't been fully corrupted, but because they're clearly not mindless, right? Like a lot of the other enemy robots we've seen. They're still thinking and talking, but they've gone full cult and now worship the Nushi, which is really cool. I like that as an idea. I'm still unclear what the deal is with them, but it's cool. If you want Dino Blade, don't mistake points you out into whatever you want, whatever treat you want. Light the fires in proper orders. As the flames rise, the bell rings out, reverberating with reality. The path to providence shall open, and the wishes of us non-humans shall be granted. The path to Matsukawa Colony. It is time to light the flames. Okay, so we've got like a robot, like, not even death cult. It looks like they're trying to find some, like, paradise in this, like, special colony where the non-humans will be treated with, like, respect, I guess. Granted, I probably make things harder on myself than necessary because I refuse to use blueprints that others have created. Poor Kira Exile never stood a chance. I also don't use blueprints made by this. The game is about figuring it out. Why would I deprive myself of such gameplay? Yeah. Honestly, I will sometimes do stuff like that in Minecraft, right? I'll use like builds in Minecraft. But I also like prefer when I'm building like decorative stuff in particular to learn from a build, like learn how they did something and then adapt it for my own use. So currently I am working on a giant tree and have been like kind of on and off in Minecraft for the last I don't know, like 8 months at this point. I've only done it for like, I've only worked on it for like an hour so far. But what I did was I looked at like a lot of videos of people making trees, right? I learned how they were doing it. And I used that info to plan how I would build my trees. So I looked at like how they build the go about building like branches or stuff like that, or how they go about building like the root system, or how they go about grouping the leaves together. And I'm like, okay, I'll combine a bunch of these tactics together. Oh yeah, look at me go. I'm comboing using the delay attack, all of it. Now, when it comes to farms, I will use blueprints from other people, partially just because, like, farms are very, like, efficiency-operated things for me, and they often rely on very obscure mechanics. It's not so much a problem to be solved, it's more how do these people exploit the fucking enemy AI to have them drop down a pit just right? Although I do often design farms and then, like, go back in and, like, work my own stuff into it. So, one thing I've been delaying for a while is, like, making a creeper farm. Either copy-paste or spaghetti factories. So my factories either Frankenstein pipes and conveyor belts and facilities. Recently got this idea to try Minecraft Super Vertical World, giving Skylink something to decide. However, I have gotten better at like knowing how some of these things work. So I figured out how this guy is doing these like stacked iron farms. And I have a plan when I'm done with the tree to upgrade my iron farm. And because I understand how he stacks them, I can actually build the farm my own way. All I'm going to do is replicate his method of like preventing the villages from going. But because all he did was put them in a box, I can design this factory however I want. Now that I understand how to prevent like the layering effects from triggering. Basically, you can layer multiple villages in the same space if you do just like, if you build them like 100 blocks away from each other and then slowly move the villagers to them by destroying the beds one at a time. It's like very finicky and based on the way that it works. Spaghetti factor all the way for me. To be fair, at the same time, I do have some other stuff where it's like, I know how it works, and so I'm like, fuck this shit. So like my what is it, my copper, you know, generator or whatever is just mine, because I'm like, I know how to build a fucking copper generator. I played Skyblocks back in the day. I also have a few other things. Like I'm working on building an automated, like carrot farm because golden carrots are so fucking absurd. And not working on building it, but like trying to think of like a good design for it. And I don't really want to use all the other ones because all the other ones use like villager setups, and I kind of want it near my iron golem farm, and I don't want it to interfere with the other villages there. And I could use the stacked layering method, but then the golems might spawn. It could be a whole thing. And I don't want to deal with that, so I'm trying to figure out what I should be doing there. We'll see. Alright, we need to rest. Should be investigating Ember from different ruins. But yeah, I've been having fun mostly in Minecraft when I'm like doing my own things. For me, if I have to go to someone for a farm, it's like I'm doing it for the efficiency of gathering the resource so I can build the fun thing, right? One of the ones I've been putting off is actually the shulker farm. I've mostly been getting shulkers by killing them in this one area I kind of set up with a roof that I know they spawn near. And I've basically just been, like, killing them there. Using invisibility potions to get close. Using invisibility potions to get away. Or using, like, blocked off areas. Because, dear God, do shulkers scare my hardcore world to death. Because I don't want to die. By the way, oil is actually sentient, living in the war machine that is Earth. Fueling the war machine. Fueling the minds of fools. You need to keep proper care of yourself, you know? There's a reason you're not just making it in creative mode. Exactly. There's a reason I'm not making it in the creative mode. Part of it is that I feel like it's more interesting when I have to work with the materials I have. A lot of my most interesting decisions have come about from the limitations of materials. So, I originally wanted to put, like, amethyst shards, like, all over it, but it took forever to farm them, so I ended up putting them in small clusters, and I think it looks a little bit better. I've been working with glowstone blocks. I've been working with like the cherry blossoms because I spawned in a cherry blossom valley, and I kind of want to be themed there. And I've been slowly digging out this underground like nether network tunnel, and it's going slowly, right? Because I have to mine the ice, and then I have to craft it like 2 times in a blue ice. It's a whole thing. Limitation stimulates creativity. Exactly. Actually, my nether base has actually been changed multiple times. I went through a few iterations of playing around with like lava blocks or like nether warts, the nether and Ilium or whatever. And I eventually stint on this like one where you have these pillars of lava blowing down the side. But it takes forever to build. But I built like one stretch of it, right, to like one of my nexus points where I can turn different directions. And it's so satisfying that it's there now. Because it means a lot more to me in the sense that like I found the resources and built it properly. The effort that goes into making art is part of what makes it satisfying to do artistic stuff. Also, Minecraft is kind of one of those games where I think about things because I spent a few hours kind of mindlessly mining it, right? As like an unwindy thing. Part of that, like engaging with the game regularly is what helps me like think about my creative projects. Also, a lot of the materials I've used have been limited in the sense of like, what do I have available? I haven't used that much concrete, for example. Concrete is like one of like the easiest blocks to use. You just want to add color to stuff now, because it's this very, very simple to do. Like basically, concrete basically just has solid, nice colors without being wool. And that fits in with this kind of like different patterns. It has like blazed terracotta and shit. There's lots of really cool blocks, but I have to use them very sparingly. One thing I did a lot when I first started playing Minecraft, because I played a lot of creative mode when I first started playing Minecraft. And, okay, so I have to light the fire first. Where's the fire? Nope. That moment where you figure out a workaround to achieve the results you want is so satisfying. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Also, one of the things that's really cool is that because I can't just fly around, I feel like I have to be a lot more like purposeful. I've seen a lot of people who build these big old like trees, right? And one thing that really annoyed me when I was first looking for like how people like do realistic branches and stuff, and one of the reasons I've had to like really figure it out on my own, is that nobody had a way to do it in survival. They always did it with these like world edit mods, and they would like summon these like circles and then smooth it out. It happened so quickly, and I was like, I don't really want that. I want this kind of be like a bit more realistic. One of the reasons I'm also doing it is just because I want to have a world that feels like I actually like went around and actually built and gathered the resources for. Something like kind of long-term project I can look back on and say, oh yeah, I did all this in hardcore. I'm not even doing it in like survival. I'm doing it in full-on hardcore. And it's been very enjoyable. But no, I get some kind of satisfaction for not doing creative. And again, the limitation of like what blocks I can use, how much I'm willing to mine, adds to it all. Honestly, like the trees aren't even as big a problem because, like I said, I spawned in a massive cherry area, and I've been replanting them regularly as I go, and I've kind of just been gathering cherry. It also means I kind of like build things as I need them too. Right? I don't just immediately rush just... Alright, are these fires going out? Why are the fires going out? I'm so confused. Wall builders. ATFU. Disgusting memories. What is going on with these flames? Okay, so I built the flame. What the hell? Is there like a specific order I have to do it in? Okay. Person, what's going on here?
さあ
Light the fires in the proper... Okay, so I have to light them in the proper order. Okay. Let's read this text again. Light the fires of the sun, moon, and earth. Let your mind dwell in the universe. Which star gave rise to you? Light the celestial bodies in the order they were born. Alright, so sun is first, right? Sun is obviously first. If we're going to a scientific area. So sun is obviously first. And then we want to go to the earth. Okay. It is kind of fun because you can see that we are in Japan because the globe is like centered on Japan. Japan is of course like every other country in all of existence. Every other civilization in all of existence that was wondering what their place in the world was. Thought their place in the world was the center of the world. You know, America, Europe, we all did it. Every country did it. Praise the sun! Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we gotta go up there and bang on the gong. Yep. Okay, cool. But no, I'm doing it in survival because it also bleeds creativity. I find that in creative, I'm too willing. I get bored with it too easily. Because in creative, you have all the resources in the world, and everything just feels kind of, I don't know, hollow. I've tried building stuff in creative too as like a planning method, and I just hate it. I don't know what it is. Like, I was trying to plan out a creeper farm a while back, and I had all this like green concrete and stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can eventually go mine all this and like make the concrete and everything, right? And so I was like going over there, you know, getting everything like nice and set up. Yeah, I figured that wasn't gonna work. Okay. Well, maybe I can do this. Okay, I can do this. I just have to do it right. Nope. Okay, I did it first time. What the hell? I know I should just do it the right way, but now I've almost done it. I don't want to do it the right way. I want to do it the wrong way and be epic. We can find where there is a will, there's a way. I feel the hollowness of creative. I also feel with farms, not a problem with single player, only a problem with like multiplayer. Yeah, for me a farm is I'm setting it up because I want to do big resource stuff. But one of the things I have is that I want it to be like cool. So I set up a witch farm, right? To get like good potion drops and stuff. And one of the things I have planned to build near it is a giant mushroom house. Because if I'm gonna come in the forest and sit nearby, right, I'm gonna have a cool mushroom house to sit in while the witches get grounded and paste. You know? It's one of those things, right? Like where if I'm gonna do this, I want to do it fun. I have like some ocean stuff planned near my eventual drown, where I'm gonna build a drown farm. I have like this tunnel leading up to the top, and I plan to build a tower near the stronghold. I have a whole thing I eventually want to do in a few years, you know, the stronghold when I have some more. Once I get like the tree fort, right? Once I have the main base done, with the giant tree atop the floating island in my home starting area in the middle of the canyon, surrounded by chakra blossoms and all that shit, and I have some good farms set up there, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna be going down to like the stronghold I first conquered, and I'm gonna build this really cool stuff. I found some methods of like some cool like redstone contraptions. So I love looking at like different redstone contraptions, especially like mechanisms, right? Things that you can insert into your own things. And there was this really cool method of doing like this infinite basalt bridge. And I'm feeling like, oh, I could use something like this to like actually build infrastructure in the end like send it off into the end to where like the far end is, and build like massive tunnels, like build massive bridges, right, to go off and like have like platforms floating in the end. I could do all kinds of like floating space stuff if I want to. That would be so cool. So I do have plans to do that kind of stuff. One of the things I love too is flying is not even like exclusively a creative thing. You can earn flying now. You can earn flying. It's great. You don't need to go to the end. You don't need to go to creative mode if you want to fly. There is a happy gas. You can tame it, and you can kind of float on its back. It's a little finicky. It's a little harder to position your cursor. Sometimes it'll like turn around while you're trying to hold something. You gotta hold it just right. But there's that extra bit of effort of I tamed this creature and now I can sit on its back. And you can even stand on and use it as a floating platform. It's so cool and it's great. And I like that it's there now because I've like done it. You know, there's a whole website that lets you make and import crafting formulas to Minecraft. You can choose normally. See, I don't want to do that because I've played with mods before. The problem with mods is the reason I got back into Minecraft is because they had a bunch of new updates. I wanted to try the new stuff. But if I mod this hardcore world, then I won't be able to have the updates come as cleanly at the very least, right? I won't be able to as easily do the new stuff like the sulfur caves. And I want to play around with stuff. I want to play around with like redstone contraptions. I have like a solid amount of redstone coming in. And I have, okay, this is a really cool one. So I found this like design for a redstone shulker, unloader, and loader system with like auto sorting. And I got the design and I made the design as like a basic prototype. But I've been modifying it with my own shit, combining systems like copper golder sorters for singular items. So what happens now, my new modified version is similar to the original one, but not only does it have a few additional modifications and sorting methods that I personally use, it has a secondary system for the unsortable items, which it sends into a copper golem sorting system below that I set up personally, using what I learned online about how copper golems work. And that system allows me to sort my individual items in different sections. So I literally am going to be able to sort each of the different like types of armor and mods and armor and weapons and tools. Like, so I have like a whole section of like stone tools and chain armor. Even though I don't have any chain armor yet, I need to get some to like start sorting it. That is the downside. You need at least one thing to start sorting it, but it's still cool. And I am really excited. It's this really cool addition. And then I'm going to be like adding on to that. I also will have this. I also have this additional system that I'm going to be adding for auto brewing, where I'm going to have certain brewing ingredients that will take themselves out of the line in these corner areas, which I'm going to expand outward. I'm going to use it to like remove items from the auto sorter that I need to be sent elsewhere into other areas. Basically, I've taken like an original design I used from like a redstone builder, and I've been modifying with other stuff I know about redstone systems or item sorter systems and other systems in general. That's the kind of thing I love. I love taking a design with like, you know, something I learned from a video, right? And then using that info to build something else with it. Because it shows that you don't just like know how to replicate the video, right? It shows you how to iterate on the design, which I think like is cool. I like doing stuff like that. I got like really into redstone back in the day. I love doing like secret doors and stuff like that. I made videos and combining together like secret bases for a while. Gigavana Bloom! No, it's not mod, barely even a resource pack. Okay. Alright, for some reason my parry didn't work. I think it doesn't hear it. Two, go. Oh my god, more of this shit. Holy frick, that little robot. It's more like crafting formula generator using vanilla files. See, but I don't want to get uncraftable blocks either. Again, part of it for me is the restriction, right? The restriction forces me to substitute materials. It forces me to rework plans. It even forces me to just be patient and think about my designs. I've reworked things before because I was forced to gather materials, and it made me realize, oh, actually, it'll work better if I do it this way. It also helps that at this point I'm like so far in that like a lot of the cool stuff is already like started, right? So like I have a floating island base, and the underground section of it is kind of made. I have like the big item sorting room that I'm operating out of right now, which is like my area, right? So like why would I want to go back to creative when I'm doing all this here? Creative just feels soulless. Again, it just does. I can't do it. Oh boy. Doing something against walls against this thing sucks. Think about the roots. Alright. Then you can make them crafting for 64 diamonds of 2 dirt. Sky's the limit. I mean, yeah, but honestly, diamonds have not been a major problem. I found enough of them, and I kind of have plenty now. I got enough from like my strip mining days. I've mostly been trying to get netherite. I have mending, so I don't really have to worry about like equipment breaking as much. I do have to like every once in a while go repair my equipment, right, at the mob grinder farm. Which actually helps because it means I'm going over to like get some XP from like Endermen, get some Ender pearls to use, get some, you know, zombie flesh, I guess. I'm not obsessed. I'm not obsessed with feeding my dog, but yeah. Alright, come on, Bloom. Oh, shit. Alright, roots go. And I already have a villager trader farm. Alright. Get him. Come on, get him, get him, get him. Oh, frick. Come on, Bloom, please. Just saying, choosing whose special action is a roulette of God wheel. Choosing Cuss's special action is a roulette of God wheel. Alright! Got him. He's going to second phase now. Yeah, he's going to second phase. He's going to second phase. Oh, no, maybe not. Wait, is he turning into a tree? Pokemon evolution or tree? It's Pokemon evolution. Yeah. Uh-oh. We're about to get wrecked. I have grown flowers. Tremble. You know, I've never really thought about this with plant abilities, but dear gods, is that an insane amount of power. Like, this man just instantly grew a giant trunk of tree and all. Oh, that's like a Cthulhu face. No, okay, this Lovecraftian horror is getting very direct here. Get good.
体力に気をつけよ。敵の攻撃を見るんじゃ。
Vagabond Bloom, go! Come on, come on. All right, Sakura Javelin. Nice. A little more lightning. Can we get a lightning trigger on him?
落ち着いていけ。
You got a shock. All right, you got restraint. 2, hit him with the Vagabond Bloom. Oh yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. You got this. Oh my god. We got this. Oh my gosh, the time style ability works so well with the pause slash. You just do it unintentionally at that point. Just saying, but choosing two special editions will result. Oh yeah, man, we got it. Look at that. Come from behind. We just took down his second phase without a single healing item. Ain't that a gem? Ain't that a gem? Look how many flowers we have in our hair now. We have so many. Even though they are eating our flesh alive from inside our bone body. But still. Aren't they pretty? You gotta do anything for fashion, right? It's a little pain when you look this good. When you have all these accessories in your hair. So what if it's a world-destroying blight eating my flesh from the inside out? Have you seen how good these flowers look in my hair? We're getting another one now. It's gonna be so pretty. Okay, casual. I'm sorry, I just did it. I don't know what you're saying. I did get good. I got good indeed. I got very good. Second attempt. We should have been first attempt. Should have been first attempt. Damn. Should have been first attempt. But I could have just said, screw you. I do like how they turn into these, like, gigantic flower things. It reminds me a lot of the Melania fight. How she turns into, like, the giant Scarlet Bloom, right? Scarlet Ionia. It's like they did that, but for each of their bosses. I really wish I knew more about flowers. Because I just had a weird thought. I wonder if there's, like, you know, there's the language of flowers, right? Where, like, flowers have different meanings. And I know that they are doing something with that. Because they have the spider lilies everywhere. Which are, like, a symbol of death, right? Which, the blight, right? The blight is everywhere, blah, blah, blah. We are fated to die, right? We've been told that a few times. We're probably going to end up dead. That's where the plot seems to be pointing us. And I wonder if the flowers have some sort of meaning that correlates to the boss. Because that would be kind of cool. If I do anything about this game, I will have to look into that. Note to self. Note to self. Look into flower meanings if we ever dive deeper into the lore of this game. Note to self. Because that could be a kind of cool symbolism, which I think would be interesting. I wonder if it might even relate to the kind of creatures that they formed, right? Also, again, there's a specific type of flower in these visions, too. Violet has these, like, well, violet or bluish flowers. Violet, it's me. The Beast of Reincarnation. Just, like, gonna say it. Indeed, I do. Where do I come from? By the way, sounds like to improve your skills. Sit at least half a meter from the screen. What?
一体我は
What world am I from?
どこで生
then?
まれたのじゃ。
Wait, we're not from this. Oh gods, are we from a Is this a simulation? Is this a simulation? Are we really going back to the simulation theory I proposed at the very beginning of this? Shambhala. No. So Violet's from Shambhala. Stem's End. Okay, so I guess chapter 3 wasn't the end, right? I guess it's just chapter 4 Stem's End. It's not like actually the end. I was not sitting half a meter from the screen and was overthinking my gameplay. I mean, I'm sitting pretty close. We have so many flowers in our hair. They're so pretty. Again, I have a weird feeling that the meaning of flowers, right, might have something to do with shit. It's just a theory. Botan Chaser. I don't know for sure, right? I don't know for sure. But it is a theory.
エマ、
It would not be the weirdest thing.
ただいま。うん。おかえりなさい。
Glad you're awake now. Thank you. Let's talk. Have some more pointless character dribble. Let's go.
エマ、
We are back to Drakengard, and flowers are just butterflies from Cowboy Bebop.
リンネの獣と戦うんだよね。
When we get to the capital, we ought to fight the Beast of Reincarnation, right? Aren't you scared?
怖くない？
I mean, we've already established she, at the very least, even if she does feel emotions, she doesn't feel them particularly strongly. They're fairly muted.
エマはすごい。
At least most of the time.
私だったら。
Or maybe she's being conditioned. If I was scared, I wouldn't be able to fight. Okay, yeah, I've seen this scene.
嫌じゃない？
I've seen this scene like a
戦う
lot.
ことは
It's
私の役
irrelevant.
目。
It is my purpose. I am robot person.
そうだよね。
I say that kind of jokingly, but I also do get what it's like to not fully understand the emotions of people around you.
変なこと
It can be a very strange experience.
一緒
And
に帰ってきて
like,
ね。
you know, as someone who's ADHD, like, I can tell you it's a very weird experience. I had experience the other day, and I won't go into the details because it's a little personal. But I was trying to ask someone about, like, something. Because it was clear that they were expecting me to feel a certain way, and I didn't know what I was supposed to be feeling because I don't have the same level. I don't emotionally attach to things in the same way. And I'm not going to get into the reasons why this one, what was going on with this one. But I was like, okay, so I'm not sure how I'm supposed to feel about this. And it's hard for me to say stuff like that without it kind of sounding like an insult. And I try to preface it, look, I'm just trying to understand, because I'm having trouble experiencing this, but I don't want to offend anyone, and I'd like to know the proper way that I should like act as to not offend people. And it's this very weird, convoluted way around it where I have to explain this, and it always seems like someone gets offended, even when I'm trying to not offend someone.
空の言葉。今も正確に
You're
は
not
わから
read the
ない。
room kind of guy. Yeah, I've been there, did nothing about
で
it.
も時々
It's not just that. I don't.
そうか。
God. I don't want to get into the whole spiel as like this late into the stream, but like I've always had this thing where. What's the best way to describe this?
ブラッドのおか
I
げ。
feel emotions, so I'm not like emotions. I feel very passionate about things. I love and care for things, even people on occasion. But I don't get attached quickly. I build attachment to things slowly over time. And I also don't get attached to things for like no reason. Just not generally. I like dragons because some of the most fun media I've had as a kid was a dragon media. And that's sort of grown on me over the years. I understand this intellectually, right? Like the reason why I like dragons. But things grow on me over time. But I don't have like inherent loyalties or stuff like to things just on their own. And as a result, even if someone's a family member, like I have a bunch of cousins and everything like that, but I don't see some of them in a long, long time, and I don't know them, and I don't really have a strong attachment to them because they're kind of just like people I see on occasion. And occasionally I'm asked to like, oh, don't you know about this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I am not kept in the loop on that. And I'm also just like not super attached to it all, right? And it's just weird thing. I get it better than you may think. I imagine you probably do. I know there are a lot of people online who probably do. This one's actually normal. Right, but I'm also like, I'm explaining very badly, but there are sometimes people I should know more, who other people would be like, okay, so we do see them this regularly. We see them every year, or twice a year, every year. You don't even know their name. And I'm like, no, because I don't really interact with them that much. And they're like, you don't feel anything? And I'm like, I mean, I didn't know them. Like, if they pass or they move away or something. And I'm like, I didn't really know this person. I don't really feel much for it. I can feel a general sense of people dying is sad, but I don't feel like a lot of, you know, I don't feel a lot of personal attachment to it. And I don't try and say that because I am, at least as an adult, right? I've become aware that is not something that people like hearing. As a kid, I was a bit of a jackass like that until Code and Assembly explained social capital to me. But you know, as an adult, I've become better at realizing stuff like that and not doing stuff like that. But I always have this weird moment where I'm trying to explain to somebody I don't really get what they're assuming I feel, without phrasing it in a way that will insult them or make them think I am like mocking them or something or being rude, which is really hard because a lot of people think this is an instinctive thing you should just know. And whenever there's something people should just think, no, social what now? Can I get it explained? Yes, exactly. I have a hard time when I run into... It's one of the reasons I like to be prepared going into things, especially social situations. I like to ask what the expectations are. Being away, me never seeing him, all fondness has left. Exactly. It's hard to have fondness for someone who has been not really a part of your life. Exactly. Whereas I feel like with a lot of other people, this is not as much the case. Like, I have friends or people I was at least like acquaintances with, like friendly acquaintances with, in, you know, high school or in middle school. And my parents always talk to me like, oh yeah, I found out about them the other day. Isn't that great? Do you keep up with them at all? And I'm like, not really. They're like, oh, you don't really care? And I'm like, I mean, we haven't really seen each other in years, and like, yeah, we had some fun times, but like, you know, good for them, they're living their life. Only thing my instincts say is rage more than pizza. Incoming bullet flying by. Again, it's not that it's weird. I don't like hate anyone. The problem is this also leads to some awkward situations with things that are happening right now. And it could lead to me feeling like I'm being a bit of a jackass, even though I don't really know how to not feel in a way that makes me feel a bit like a jackass. And I'm doing a poor job explaining this because I really don't want to talk about what specifically triggered this. Right. But yeah, it's a whole thing. Okay, so the Matsukawa colony. So I don't know. I feel like there are a lot of times where society is like, oh yeah, everybody should understand, you know, the social etiquette here, because obviously we're all feeling the same emotion from this, so we understand that you shouldn't do these things. And like, I actually don't know what emotion you guys are feeling right now, and I'm not really sure like which variant of it I should be using or how I should be approaching this scenario. I actually don't, and I would love I want a bit of a primer on it. And it's really hard to say that without people thinking you're being a bit like dismissive or disingenuous. I have to be very clear when I talk about it like that. I want you to be numb and self-reflective as little as possible. Doesn't mean it's infringement. To be fair, I have grown on this a lot, because one of the things that happened to me for a long time was like not getting it just made me not want to care. It made me want to do like edgy nihilism when I was in high school, because I'm like, well, if I don't get it regardless, I might as well just like not give a shit. You know, damn what other people say, damn what other people feel. If nobody's gonna explain any of this shit, and they're gonna get offended when I ask, I might as well just like not get involved. And I developed this very, very bad habit of just not caring at all. And although I do think that you should never take what people say so to heart that you deny who you are, right? That part of me has not necessarily changed. I have discovered, partially due to Code and Assembly's help, that there is a benefit to not being super dismissive of that and becoming a complete jackass. There's a balance to it, right? My main goal now is to just figure out what the rules are, and then knowing those rules and understanding the reason behind those rules, I can then make my decision on which ones I respect. as
他
a
にもル
person,
ートがあるの？
right? So if I hear, I usually ask in a confusion where I'm confused, like, okay, so I don't know what kind of like engagement this is. How formal is this? What's the behavioral stuff gonna look like? Like, is this like, you know, wedding, or is it like a, you know, anniversary? Is this like a casual, you know, evening out with some family members? And then I'll get an answer. I'm like, okay, I can base my expectations around this, and I can base my behavior and social norms around this. I go with close family member mourning stranger emotion. Like my parents mourning my grandparents. I lost them once a year. I didn't know them well. They lost some of us more. Right. Be there for them, even if you can't be there for them. The other thing. Yeah. That's kind of it. Close family mourning stranger. Yes, I can kind of do that. Weirdly enough, I am fairly close to my grandparents. Well, which one of them is left? Both my grandmothers I was very close to. My grandfather on my mom's side died before I was born, so I have like, very little attachment to him. But my parents very care for him, and I'm always like, oh, you know, that must have been nice. And my grandfather on my dad's side, I was not super close with. He was very outdoorsy, but you know, when I was a kid, I was a bit closer with him. Grandmother on my mom's side died a while back, a few years ago. And my grandmother on my dad's side now lives in Baton Rouge, or now lives near us. Shit. Trying to say my location. But she lives near us, and that means I get to see her a lot more. We see her like regularly. She comes, you know, lots of outings, and I'm usually the one who picks it up. So I've always had a pretty close bond with her. I feel like, and I know her pretty well. She is someone who's fairly close to me, even like close to me. In fact, I would say she's like up there as one of the most closest family members I have, aside from like my cousins and aunt and uncle who lived here. And I have a few other people who I've seen enough times or I've interacted with regularly. But there are cousins who I was like closer to as a kid who I haven't seen in a while, and I'm just not as close to them. Oh my. Besides, I was basically born to a world where human behaviors and emotions are very roboticized, so I never cared about these stupid expectations. See, that's the thing, I didn't either. But I realized that alienating everyone through not even giving it a shot was a bit callous, or at the very least, inelegant as a solution, right? It was an inelegant solution. Where can I find crop seed money? Is there anything dangerous out there? Social capital is value, or leaving money on the table. Exactly. That was the role Red set up for me. If you do things for other people, if you're kind to other people, they can be kind back. And to be fair, I have grown to appreciate the idea of be kind and get kindness in return, as a measure of like people. Like if I'm polite to someone and they're just like constantly rude back, you know, everybody has bad day or two. But if you're like just like constantly annoying me or dissing me, I'm like, okay, fuck this shit, man. But like, I do generally try and operate on this just like basic level of kindness to have. And that means people won't feel like you're a dick and possibly not want to do things for you. Favors can be valuable. As a result, I've also become kind of... It's actually got funny, too, because I feel like, every once in a while, it feels like I get invited to stuff, partially because I have been willing to drive people home, and I don't drink. Which has weirdly increased a lot of my social capital use, because I'm a valuable piece on the board, right? I am the person who you can party with, and then who can drive you home afterwards. There's a part of me that like feels like I need to be somewhat useful, which comes a bit from being the tech person in the family, I'm not gonna lie. For a long time, that was like kind of my piece in the family unit, was, yeah, he's a bit antisocial, and he doesn't really like anything anyone else likes, but damn, can he fix your computer. Alright. After a week of you using my ideas in social capital, it did give you some nice meal preps. Yeah. It helped that there was, like, an incentive to keep doing it. And don't get me wrong, I'm never gonna be, like, Mr. Social, right? Like, I'm never... Look, I know you will say I am, Fred, but I'm just not. I do prefer my lonely time of, like, just me. If I do not have my me time, if I do not have my I need to be alone time on a regular basis, I become very, very irritable. Because I can't handle people for extremely long periods of time without, like, some sort of break. I can do it for short bursts, like when I host people over for a week or so, but every once in a while I need to lock myself in a room with nothing but me for an hour. Even when you were here, right, we'd have, like, you'd go to bed and I would have an hour to, like, decompress. I think that's part of the reasons I get along so well with you in extended periods of time. You are more social than me, that's all. I do feel like that might be one of the reasons I get along with you so well, is because you go to bed early, and as a result, I always have time to sort of decompress after you go to bed. Like, you go to bed at 10 and I have like an hour at 11 even if I'm going to bed somewhat early, right? Decompress and be like, oh yes, I will sit alone in the room with a book and kind of read. I like Yagana Bloom just because it's a giant AoE, honestly. I'm not even anything like that, I just love the AoE. You're more social than me, that's all. That is true. I have kind of accepted that I am weirdly one of the most social members of our little group. Which is such a weird position to be in. Like, I swear, if young me could see me, he would both be, like, super impressed. Because I feel like he would also love the server. He'd be like, holy shit, we have how much data? We run our own media server? He'd be so cool. He'd think it was so cool. What do you think I was doing in bed? I was watching YouTube vids alone. I was also decompressing. I was just doing YouTube's excuse. See, we also get it. So it's either you also, yeah, you also get it too. You also get that. I've had times that's just not the case, and people want to be like, when my parents invite people over, or we had like family over, right? It was always like, no, we need to be with the guests every moment they're not sleeping, and it's like, oh god, I can't handle that shit. I can't. I need my, like, quiet me time. Alright, we got it. Over here. Take down the drones. Hey! You're acting strange. We did try to make the most of the time I was there, though. Yeah, we did. We did fun stuff that we wouldn't usually do when we were on Discord, which I think was good. Although I did completely forget something else I had planned. There's this actual, like, arcade with, like, real arcade machines. It's partially a bar, but, like, the main thing is that it's like an actual arcade, right? Not just like gambling machines. Just like infinite good clips. I was into Tocho, I was mainly strive for being pure, unadulterated, unmasked, you know what I mean? What you see is what I am, no conforming, only respect. Yeah, I've tried to do that too. I tend to mostly just be myself, for the most part. Like, honestly, what you're getting now is pretty much me. Not gonna lie, that's mostly just what I am. Okay. Partnering with a malefactor is a rare thing. I never wanted to, like, give up who I was just to, like, conform to stuff, for the most part. The play pretend is fun. Mask is great when given the choice. Oh yeah, it's one of the reasons I kind of like doing RPG stuff. Because it lets me kind of pretend to be other things rather than who I am. Getting to put on a mask and like play around and also, I am different in different scenarios. right? Like, I can be very engaged and hyperactive and over the top if I'm in a scenario where that brings that out of me. But I'm also very reserved in some scenarios where I'm kind of like sitting on a bed, just kind of like quietly reading all day. I have days where I will be jumping around, running all over the place, and then it's all about social battery. Yes, 100%, 100% about social battery. The weird tree with the weird chakra symbols. I do really like the art for this game, though. Like, I like it. It's solid. All the creatures are blooming out of the tree. With the man on the bus. Sometimes I want to pretend to be a conspiracy theorist with the man on the bus. Yeah, that was a particularly noteworthy time. Alright, Dragon Vein Shrine discovered. Alright, I think we're going to try and find another save point, and I think that's going to be it for today. I do feel like we're kind of heading to the end, though. We're getting a lot of, like, subtle foreshadowing back to the tree stuff. We're climbing up to this, like, weird sacred village with the robots, so I feel like we're going to get some, like, info dump on us. So maybe next time we might finish this off. So we are going to have another... Oh, yeah, we get, like, 2 easy upgrade materials. Okay. I think we are moving toward the end of the game, because, good gods, is there a sign sometimes? When you start seeing a few upgrade materials placed, like, right next to each other like that, I feel like that's, like, a really common sign that you're either at the end of an area or into the game. They realized, oh, we want enough upgrade materials for this area. Okay, we need to kind of give them to you at the end. We didn't have enough place to put them all, but this is the upgrade curve, so, put another one right there. Not even lazy, it's just like, it's, you know, sometimes you design it where you want a special little thing and you don't have a way to give them to from the, code. Even an introvert can mask themselves as an extrovert for a period of time if they have a large social battery or an environment with minimal drain said battery. Yeah. I had a lot of that as a kid, like where it's like people would wonder how I could be so outgoing in that one moment, then so like just shut off the next, and that was mostly it. See, one more save. Come on, save point. That's like a gate to the next zone. It's closed. What the hell is this thing? Like a giant, mysterious Rubik's Cube. Honestly, if you want to be a conspiracy theorist, Mage is a great game for it. Yes, let's bring it around to Mage. Oh man. I just need to find another save one, I feel like. Giant rat Nishu. Let's go. I was talking Watt at work. Get day. Great day. Yeah. I've been talking Watt a bit with some other people at work, although most of the people who play tabletop games at work, like one of the 2 people who play tabletop games somewhat regularly, mostly play D&D, so they don't really, you know, don't really know a lot about WoD. They've said it sounds interesting. They just like haven't been like, oh yeah, we're definitely gonna try this now. I'm like, oh, wish you would. That'd be cool. Go and get those more instances. Alone time recharges social battery in this room, while the extrovert is drained by alone time. Socialization is their recharge. Yeah, I feel like I'm surrounded a lot by people who feel like they are either people who are like not really one way or the other, or they're people who are like very extroverted, right? Who love being around people. This is someone who does not play TRPGs, but does bring up MK Ultra Cancer Mouse. Wait, that was the robot Ventruvian Man. We missed it. Oh come on, I gotta go. Oh man, next time we check out the Ventruvian Man robot. I have no idea what it's like inside. You need to be even more cautious than usual. Alright, feels like this is an adventure for next time. We've had a very emotional talk today, I'm sure. Tomorrow we will figure out what is going on in the weird robot Shambhala utopia. I'm assuming it's like an uploaded mind, or they've discovered they're in a simulation and that they are actually going to be free of it now and go rogue. MK Ultra, but Epstein files on the other hand. That's not even conspiracy. That's like, I mean, people did go to an island and do this. That's not even like, I mean, Epstein isn't really even, talking about the technocracy in NWO is great with that person. I can imagine. Because they're like, finally, a game that actually shows the truth. Anyway, I think I will see you guys all next time. This has been a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to finish this off. I have not yet decided if Dragonhold is going to be continued, so we'll have to see. But yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.